Well, we're going to hear from the other side now. Zöhra Mnatsakanyan is the Foreign Minister of Armenia on Skype from Yerevan. Foreign Minister, thank you for your time. You heard there quite clearly the Azeris saying that they won't stop until they, in their words, liberate this territory. They're saying full-scale war. Do you consider yourself to be in a full-scale war now?
What we have been hearing is exactly the choice of war and at the expense of the peace process, the breakdown of the peace negotiations by Azerbaijan, the massive attack that they have in a premeditated, pre-planned manner across the entire parameter of the line of contact between Azerbaijan and Nagorno-Karabakh this morning has been a proof of the intentions of Azerbaijan to push for their maximalist positions in an aggressive manner, to put our people at risk. We have been consistently insisting that at the heart of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict is the security of our people. And they today have once again brought to prove that we have to care about the security of our compatriots, the people of Nagorno-Karabakh, who have been firm on the defense of their freedom, of their security against this aggression. And the aggression is pre-planned, not just by Azerbaijan, but with the massive support of Turkey, which has its military presence and which has been showing its unilateral support and aggressive approach towards Armenia. This is very, very disturbing, and it's a massive escalation, consequences for which Azerbaijan bears full responsibility.
It's also an escalation which they say you started. They actually say you attacked first at 6 a.m., an hour before.
I totally reject this absolute disinformation, which is the method of Azerbaijan. We had no intention of doing anything which would bring to escalation. Armenia has been very firm on its position that the solution is strictly through peaceful means, strictly on the basis of a compromise. We wouldn't do anything that would be against our declared intentions. For us, as I'm saying, the whole point is about the security of our compatriots. They are very firm and very resolute to defend themselves, and Armenia remains a very resolute guarantor of their security.
To go back to my... Sorry to interrupt you.
To stop this aggression and come to their senses and come back to the peaceful process.
Sorry to interrupt you, Foreign Minister, but in my original question I asked you, are you in a position to actually stop them? If they say they are going to go to full-scale war and liberate this territory, what position is Armenia in to defend?
Nagorno-Karabakh will be defending every single inch of their land and of their security, and Armenia will be the guarantor. These threats of force have been very usual in the parlance of the Azerbaijani government and the regime in Baku. The latest was in the United Nations General Assembly, and they have just brought this into a practical implementation once again. Once again, they will be repelled.
Foreign Minister, you talked about negotiation, about stepping back from the brink here. How would you see that happening? Who would be the broker? How would you step back from the brink here?
There is an established format of negotiations. There is internationally recognized format which includes mediators, the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairmanship comprising Russia, the United States and France. We're in constant contact with the co-chair countries at all levels, and we're working towards the ways in which we can bring the whole situation back to normality for the negotiating process. We're committed to this. However, this shouldn't have been confused with our resolve in Nagorno-Karabakh and in Armenia to defend ourselves, in Nagorno-Karabakh and in Armenia. The resolution has to be based on a compromise. The maximalist position that has been pouring out of Baku all these years has no any room for a progress in the negotiating process. The Prime Minister of Armenia has been consistently insisting that any solution should be acceptable to the people of Armenia, to the people of Nagorno-Karabakh, and to the people of Azerbaijan. A compromise-based solution, not a solution which only meets the interest or the demand of just one party. That is totally rejected. Azerbaijan has never reciprocated never reciprocated our call for a compromise solution, but they have been opting for that military solution, opting for aggressivism, and what we see now is the manifestation of this consistent policy of Azerbaijan.
The established mechanism which you talk about for discussions, which is already in place, can that bring in others? We've got Russia, we've got Iran, we've got France, all talking about a de-escalation, calling for a de-escalation immediately, but you've also got Turkey, which squarely backs the Azeris and has seemed to be in more of a fighting mode. Can the current mechanism deal with any further threat from any other player as well?
A clarification, the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairmanship mechanism is a co-chairmanship of 3 countries comprising Russia, the United States and France.
Right.
Within these negotiations, if Azerbaijan is so, determined to put blame on Armenia, then I'm calling on Azerbaijan to immediately accept the investigative mechanisms and the risk reduction mechanisms and the observation mechanisms for ceasefire violations we have been insisting upon for so many years, and they have been rejecting it exactly to cover their intentions, their bellicose and aggressive intentions, and to engage in a blame game as they're doing now. If they want peace, if they want de-escalation, they should have agreed, and they can agree now on the mechanisms which can strengthen the ceasefire regime and strengthen the risk reduction mechanisms. So this is our call again, but this was totally rejected by Azerbaijan. And this blame game that they are proposing, that they are trying to impose on us, is totally rejected. They bear full responsibility for the entire situation that we're having now.
Zöhrab Mnatsakanyan is the Foreign Minister of Armenia. Foreign Minister, we thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Plenty more to come for you on this news hour. Let's have a look. We will ask if the US has